There are an awful lot of evolutions and even more Eevee-based cards, but there might be a thing or two that you don't know about them. So let's take a quick look. That's right, everyone. Connor here from Cardmarket. Today I'm bringing you something a little bit different. We know that Evolving Skies is coming out soon, and we might have a giveaway later to promote. But we should also have a look at the Eevees and cards that involve Eevee historically, and there are actually a few kind of odd things about them that you may not know. So let's take a little look and see if there's anything that I've managed to uncover that might be a bit new. Starting with the Eevee is, as far as I can work out, the second most printed Pokemon in TCG versions of all time. First, to probably the surprise of no one, is Mr. Pikachu. Pikachu appears on something in the region over 300. The exact number is really hard to work out because there's an awful lot of promos. But Eevee comes in just in second, at around half that, so somewhere in the region of 150 plus. Promos. Again, it's quite hard to track the exact number, which makes it the second most printed Pokemon of all time. And that's just the Eevees, not including the evolutions, because there's also a lot of them, and there's versions of them and stuff like that. But yeah, popular card, they print it a lot. Fact number 2 is actually on one of the words I just used, evolution. This is a real quick hit fact, but the word evolution was originally a fan word. So, it wasn't officially the word that Pokemon used to describe the evolution family. See, I did it there. But it's actually a portmanteau of the word Eevee and evolution. So, evolution, right? Nice and easy. But it actually became official. So it's actually the official word. It was included in the Pokemon Stadium 2 guide, and is actually a theme deck called Evolutions. So, it was adopted into the terminology used in the Pokemon series. We all know one of the cool things about Eevee is that there's just so many different ways it can evolve, right? It can be a fire type, an electric type, a water type, a grass type, an ice type, a dark type, a psychic type, a fairy type, right? But obviously we know also there's more types of that, like rock, ground, fighting, and all those sorts of things. But in the TCG, we actually have a type that hasn't ever been covered. So, in general, there are no dragon evolutions, both in the TCG and also in the video games. There is no fighting type, and there's also no ground or rock type, which will cover under that in the TCG. But we do have a metal type Eevee. Eevee Delta and its evolutions were dual type with metals. So in the TCG, we've actually had a metal Eevee when they haven't in the video game. So that's kind of interesting. With all the copies of cards printed and the fact that it has so many evolutions, it's not entirely popular to know that Eevee is one of the more popular Pokemon, well, ever. So in the 2020 series, in 2020 they did a survey on most popular Pokemon. Greninja came top. But Eevee was actually down in 20th, which is honestly a lot lower than I think a lot of people were expecting. But have no fear, it is still clearly a much-loved evolution family, because at 6th was Sylveon, and in at 5th was Umbreon. And it kind of makes sense, right? With so many popular evolution lines as well, it might well end up being that you kind of dilute the votes. But there was another survey as well this year, so earlier in 2021, which found that Eevee was actually the most popular Pokemon in Denmark, Finland, Latvia, and Lithuania. So it has a little pocket in Europe where it is actually the most popular Pokemon overall, but 20th. So with all these arts of Eevee and the 150 plus copies, there are some really odd ones. So we have the football Eevee. I just think that's just adorable, but it's also kind of a weird thing to see. Then we have things like the Scream Eevee, right? Part of the Scream series, which is a lot of fun. But one of the weirdest ones is the Eevee GX by Curays. So this is the promo version in our release. But the really weird thing with this is that the style's just so un-Pokemon in its look, right? And that's because Curaze is actually a comic book artist. So he has a comic series that he posts on his Twitter. And they often feature kind of animals doing kind of human-y things. So there's a series with a cat having mishaps whilst eating. There's a wholesome dog series. Honestly, go check them out. They're actually really fun. And this is just Eevee waking up from a nap. Which, if you were familiar with his work, and many people in Japan might well be, makes sense. To us, just looks a bit odd. It just looks so weird. Before we get into our last fact, I want to just take a moment to introduce the giveaway that we're doing for Evolving Skies. So our plan is to give away 3 3-pack blisters of Evolving Skies per video in this series. And the idea will be that you have to go down below and comment the word Sylveon. It's not always going to be Sylveon. You have to keep an eye out in each of these videos to make sure you get the right code word. But today, Sylveon. And our final fact now is Eevee might actually be one of the strongest Pokemon ever in the TCG. Because it crops up in a startling number of World Championship decks. So we have Evolutions from 2006, we have Flyevies from 2007, and Legendary Ascent from 2007. Perfection, Henry Brown's winning list, played in Espeon Deoxys in 2019, and Psychic Luck from Jason Klaczynski in 2008. So that's 5 decks that either won or made the finals of the Pokemon TCG World Championships, included Eevee or its evolution. On top of that, we have things like the Espeon GX cropped up in Drampa Garb. We've had various other decks do extremely well with Eevees. And I think it might actually be one of the more common inclusions in these World Championship winning decks. So there we go. Not only is Eevee extremely popular, extremely well printed, and frankly adorable, it's also extremely strong. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I've been Connor from Cardmarket. Now, don't forget that if you want to enter the competition, you just have to go down below and enter Sylveon, and you will be entered with the chance to win yourself a 3-pack blisters of Evolving Skies. I'm going to get really annoyed at having to say that over and over again. And if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Maybe give it a share if you have other people who want to enter this giveaway and might want to get their hands on some packs. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you soon.